Welcome back, cephalopods, to the last introduction video of the role series. As you already know, the last basic role is the frontliner, so let's see what is even left for him. Now that you can assume that your back and midliners are trying to hold your ground and to control the objective, there's basically only one thing left that stands between your Cephalo squad and your sweet victory. And that is the opposing team itself. As long as the other team has players on the field to interfere your game plan, you might have a hard time to pull through depending on their individual skill levels. And that is where the frontliner comes into play. As a frontliner, you want to get rid of as many potential threats as you can, which means that you try to keep the opponents from engaging with your team. The most effective way to fulfill this job is to completely take them out of the match by splatting them. Of course, this will only be temporarily, but your team benefits from the entire time they take to respawn and to get back to their position. However, trying to splat opponents is also the most dangerous thing that you can do, since you can easily get splatted yourself, causing the exact opposite of what you try to achieve. So keep in mind that rushing into a fight carelessly is mostly not the best option. Instead of exposing yourself and becoming an easy target, a common strategy is to hide somewhere around a corner or behind an obstacle, and using the element of surprise to shark unsuspecting opponents that are passing by. Sharking can be done in many different ways, and sometimes even works in an open field that is painted with mixed ink from both teams. So feel free to be creative when planning your ambush. But before you go for a shark, make sure that the time you waste for waiting is worth the risk of not helping your team in a more active way in the meantime. Speaking of active help, another way to support your midliners to hold control over your turf is to make a detour on the map and invading the area behind the opposing attackers, so that you can fight them from their backs or sides while they already have to deal with your midliners in front of them. This maneuver is known as flanking and allows for an overwhelming advantage in an otherwise equal fight. And with some experience, you can even do a mix of sharking and flanking by hiding in some place in the front and then coming back towards your own side of the map to assist your defense line from an unexpected angle. Aside from completely taking out opposing players by splatting them, the frontliner can also try to distract the other team from keeping or taking control of the match. By showing your presence in important areas and being a nuisance to the opposing team, they might get lured into chasing you down to get rid of you when you pose too much danger for them to ignore. If they still ignore you, then you get a chance to engage them and maybe actually take them out with a splat. But if they take the bait and chase after you to finish you off, then you can try to keep them busy as long as you can to buy your team valuable time to gain more control over the match. And in case you just get splatted early in the chase, then you might still have caused some instability in the opponent's positioning and turned their attention away for a bit. If done at the right time, this could already be enough for your teammates to break through an important area or to get the deciding score lead in a match. All in all, the frontliner should never be afraid of getting splatted, but still never act in a careless way either. The frontliner's life has the least value of the team, but at the same time, their value increases exponentially the longer they manage to stay alive. So surviving is basically not necessary, but it benefits the team tremendously. That wraps up this mini-series about roles, and hopefully you now have enough knowledge to get started and to figure out which role fits your playstyle best. Remember that all of those videos about roles are dedicated to online solo queue and do not represent an actual squad where you can communicate with your team. But it should help you to get a hang of the game and to understand the fundamentals. The best way to learn all this stuff is to play some matches for yourself and try to apply your knowledge. When you have questions or advice, post it in the comments, and join my Discord for more interactions with me and other cephalopods. Also, if you feel like your brain just got bigger by watching this, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos about life-enhancing stuff like this. Thank you for your support, and I'll be back in the next video.